Hello, pagan crafting friends. Today we are diving into a super creative way to cast spells using spell cards. Think of them like bags or talismans, but in paper art form, full of your intention, creativity, and magic. So let's talk about what they are, how to charge them and activate them, and a few simple ways you can use them in your witchy practice. So how to make a spell card. So just gather ingredients. You can use a wax candle, wax beads. I have these tiny little feathers I've literally had for over a decade. You could use ribbon, you could use washi tape. You could use markers, paint, collage bits, stamps, any magical ingredients such as herbs, pressed flowers, essential oils, crystals, even embroidery thread, your intention if you have nothing. Here I've just used to color my paper, some spray bottles mixed with acrylic ink and a lot of water. So choosing some really cool colors here, I'm going to pick out something that I feel that's going to match my intention. I'm going to make 2 spell cards, but oh, there's a sigil there, but I'm feeling I want some yellows in there, maybe some greens. So starting with a clear intention, what you want to think, what is this card for? So I'm thinking of my colors first. I found this green with some pinks, and I have some pinks and blues on the other side, but I'm going to focus on the yellows. I love that one. Now this is a PDF download that's going to come with this one. Simple little guideline. You can do this yourself, but I'll just throw this on Patreon. I might just throw it up for free actually, because it's just really simple. It's just going to help you fold your paper in thirds so we have an overlapping piece. You're just going to fold your paper right in half. So when you're thinking about your paper, back to that, choose symbols, colors, words to match your goal. You can draw sigils, keywords, or art that feels powerful to you. When you add your herbs or a dab of oil, or use a small glue of ingredients on the card. I like using Mod Podge and then adding like sparkles, but my sparkles are gem dust. Yeah. So some gem sand I'm throwing down on that. And when it dries, you only see the gem sand locked into the piece. So focus your energy and charge the card with your will and visualization. Anything you want to use, think of every correspondence that you can bring to charge up this card as you're magically putting it together. Tell it what to do, whisper it what to do as you're working with it. As I'm cutting out my little intention paper, what could I be doing? I could be reciting it. Now I'm going to lay this one simply in the middle. I love the little saying that comes with. So again, that I'll just include on my Patreon on a public side. And it's just a quick little fun way to help you cut out the card, and then you can cut out the intention, or you can totally decorate the paper. I used a cardstock paper when I was rocking it. It's just too yellow for me. I'm spraying some yellow on here, or just too yellow, just too white. So I'm spraying some yellow. Now that that's dry, I shouldn't have glued it down because I forgot to add my ribbon. I just saw a couple days ago, it was 3 bees and 2 of them flew in my house. And so I would like to make something to tribute to their little bees have woken up, because people are breaking their lawns and it's too early. They're still waking up. They still got the winter dumps. Yeah, they're still a little drunk with the sleepy time. They're flying kind of funny and in and out. Now I took this ribbon and I cut it out in little different ways around the little hive bits because I thought it would look so cool for the front of this card. Ooh, I think it looks so sweet. So just add a little bit of Mod Podge on there. Now while I'm doing that, let's talk about what are spell cards. Spell cards are handmade magical tools, basically a portable paper magic. They are small pieces of paper or cardstock that hold like specific intention or a spell. I collect my cardstock from all over the place, from like tags to stickers, you name it, I throw it on it. You can think of them like a little mini altar, a talisman, or even a magical affirmation. You can paint them, collage with them, even write sigils, herbs, incantation, whatever works for you with your magical style. Here I'm adding some lavender to this one because it's a earlier flower that comes out. I got some little wooden bees. I'm so excited they're coming out. And I have some pussy willows because those ones we get in springtime here. So I'm trying to add some flowers, some intention. I did, as you can see in the little bottle, there's some white dried flowers, some daisies. Those are earlier flowers for around my area, my growing zone as well. But when I brought them out to use them, they just fell apart. They're so light. So they're going to be used in a mixture, in an oil, in a spell, in a different way. I just couldn't stick them onto the card without them all just crumbling off. Now, charging and activating your spell card. You can activate your spell card just like any magical tool. Some ways are, let's think of like candle magic. You can pass a card through the smoke of the candle. You can cleanse and smoke cleanse this as well. You can sound cleanse your piece, which you should be doing if you're doing art magic. You want to cleanse yourself, your area, your space, your tools before you start. Oh, just a little side note. I love these little feathers. I've literally had them for years and they are going on this spell card. Little springtime findings. Yes. So another way you could use is crystal grids. Place them in the center of the grid for amplification. Of course, the moonlight or sunlight, let it charge under the moon or the sun, depending on the spell's energy. A breath, a voice. Whisper your spell over it or breathe into it while visualizing it's working. Charge it up with the essence of your breath. Comment down below how you charge up your magical tools. What is a simple way that you're able to amplify and activate if your future spell card or your magical tools? Let me know down below. I would love to hear different ways. The most important thing is your intention and your energy. You're waking it up so it knows what to do. Even when you're using crystals, it's still like they have multiple purposes. Herbs have polarities, so sometimes you have to program it and let it know what it should be. Again, even with my wax, I'm using color correspondences. I have a little bit of purple, I have the pink, and I have the yellow. Kind of muddied a little bit, so I wound up pouring a little bit more. But did a little bit of some blue lapis, sprinkle of some gem sand on top of that while it dried. Then I glued a little bit of Mod Podge on top of that to seal it. Working on another card here with a different intention. I'm really working with the garnet stone this springtime. Well, springtime in the northern hemisphere anyway. So bringing in some energy of that with the garnet. I wound up doing some quotations, some manifestations with the crystal garnet inside this spell card. But I'm distracted and I thought of something else, so I'm adding some ribbon to like hold it open, and I don't want just the ribbon sitting there all boring, so I'm going to grab a bigger bumblebee and just finish off that little embellishment that way. I just wanted to add more ribbon. It just needed a little something more. It just seems a little boring for me on the inside. Liking that. So back to this one. This is a garnet manifestation we used recently in a video with the Rose Jericho. I used different crystals in a little jar, and each jar got a little manifestation that corresponded with the crystal, depending on what the crystal's energy gives out. So I'm using a couple of these intention manifestations inside this spell card, and this spell card is going to be a set it and forget it versus I'm going to seal this one closed. Okay, so this one I'm going to add greens with it. I want to bring in a very springtime, new energy, rebirth. I want to bring in the essence of spring, of the new blossoms and the energy and the new buds that come to be. I am a forager, and we have long winters where I'm from, and I'm desperately missing out on foraging. So this one card is kind of interesting, but it really is all about foraging and the things that I miss. So I have my garnet gem sand. I've also put into my wax. It's already kind of fell to the bottom. So I'm going to add a little more because why not? See how it falls, but that's okay. I want the garnet locked and loaded, infused into the wax. I poured a little wax on before too, and that's to seal in the lavender, and I have the pussy willows on this one too. This wax stamp seal is a mushroom to represent my foraging. So I'm hoping for a really good mushroom season, that we don't get a lot of rain so they're not all wormy and woody. I would like some really nice mushrooms this season for spring and autumn. So this is kind of like more like an equinox spell card because it represents both of the equinoxes that I get some really good mushrooms on. Now this one I'm just going to be dropping in. I added some more garnet in there too, you can see. And I'm really hoping to get a cool mixture with the garnet and the yellow. Oh, there it is. And the green. We'll see how it cools down and see how it looks after it's done. With each drop, I'm thinking of my intention, my manifestation, what I would like for the season. I hope for a lot of dandelions too, versus last year was really low and far between. So I didn't really pick any because there wasn't a lot for the bees. So I'm hoping this season we'll have lots of dandelions again too. Moving back to this card, we're going to let the other one cool down for a moment. I'm going to paint with or glue the Mod Podge ever so slightly, just an odd one here and there, and I'm going to sprinkle on some garnet gem sand. I wound up gluing a little bit more around the bee and around the stamp itself too. And when this dried, it just added a little extra sparkle of the desire that I needed for that one. Now this one I'm adding citrine and adventurine, again sticking with the yellows and the greens. The other side of the stamp I wound up doing a flower of life. So now that those are all cooled down, I'm going to be adding some Mod Podge onto these ones and using the citrine for abundance. Citrine is also solar, so I'm hoping for a lot more sun. The aventurine is aventurine. I used to actually, this is why I'm using it actually, because I used to call it aventurine, like you're going on an adventure. And it really is. So even though I mispronounce it in my earlier years, it's still a stone of adventure, and definitely what it could provide. So I'm hoping for some good adventures underneath the sun this year, some abundance coming to me of the foraging. I'm feeling this. Okay, last is how to use your spell cards. Now that your spell card is charged, and here's how to work with it. Carry it in your wallet or your bag for daily influence, like a confidence or like an abundance spell. You can place it on your altar and focus it for meditation or spell work. You can put it under your pillow for dream or love spells. Tuck it into your art journal or your grimoire to charge your writing, maybe your poetry, maybe you're writing a book. Gift one to a friend with permission as a magical blessing, like a piece of art. Hide your sigils and use all your correspondences of colors and intention and herbs and crystals and everything we went over, from charging it up with candles to moonlight to crystal grids to your breath. It will be infused with your energy. It'll be such a beautiful gift to give. You could also burn it or bury it to release the spell, even if it's a one-time intention. These spell cards are super flexible, and that's the beauty of it. They become of your personal magical language. Like I said, they become some of your energy becomes a piece of your artwork. And that goes for everything you make. I think what is super cool. So that's the magic of spell cards. Artful, powerful, and super intuitive. So put your energy into it. There's no right or wrong. Finger paint, make it into an art journal, make it into a piece of maybe a little travel journal, a little teeny tiny book that you can create and bring little spell cards with you everywhere you go. So if you make some of these, please tag me on Instagram. I would love to see what you create. And let me know in the comments what type of spell cards you'd like to try. Protection, prosperity, creativity, maybe the courage to ask for a raise at work, maybe some travel protection as you go on new adventures. Until next time, stay creative, stay magical, and have yourself an absolutely magical day.